Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Digital Nomad World weekly series. I'm Becky, and I'll be your host. And today we're going to be talking about organizing Nomad events, including Nomad Cruise, with my guest, Dori Juhasz. Dori, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Becky, for having me. I'm excited to do this.
I'm really excited to talk with you about event organizing because it's something we've never talked about on this show before. And it just goes to show there's such a wide range of things you can do as a digital nomad.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I love doing, and I don't know how exciting is it for you to hear about it. How is the back office or the behind the scenes? But definitely, I think as an event organizer, I love doing this, and I really hope, and this is the feedback that I got from after the events, that people really enjoyed it as well. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to do this, and talk about this more.
Can't wait to hear behind the scenes. So first, let's talk about how you got started as a digital nomad. What is your background?
Oh, so my background is actually has to do a little bit with event organization, but I studied tourism. So I'm from Hungary. I studied tourism, and I always wanted to travel, and I thought that tourism will be my way to start and just see the world and explore the world. And then I was working in different jobs. I had corporate jobs. I had jobs with event organization. But then when I started my journey, it actually was almost like I became a nomad by accident. So I just wanted to go for traveling. I love salsa and I love dancing. So I wanted to go to Cuba. I wanted to travel. And then I came across a really exciting opportunity to join the Nomad Cruise. So I joined, I was surrounded by 250 nomads. And basically, after 2 weeks, like the whole trip lasted 2 weeks. And after that, I left with the feeling of like, okay, I want to become a nomad and I just want to make this happen. And I'm still going to go to Cuba, but this is my new goal now, to work and travel at the same time and find my way. It was not an easy journey, but thank God I had the community around me, and also I, started different various jobs. I was working in project management, social media, and then finally my I find my way back to event organization, which was the best thing that I can happen. I never thought that this was something that could do as a nomad.
Wow. Okay. So many places we can go here. Let's talk about Nomad Cruise at first. So you said you're surrounded by 250 digital nomads. What is
Yeah.
the Nomad Cruise and how did you find yourself getting into this job? Like just as, because I imagine you were a passenger, and how did that,
Yes.
how did you get into the job from there? So first, yeah, what is Nomad Cruise?
So Nomad Cruise is a conference for digital nomads that happens on a ship. So that's the unique aspect, I guess. It's a really, really fun experience. And as you said, like, yes, I was a passenger participant on this conference. I didn't know a lot about it, and I didn't know a lot about the nomad lifestyle. So it's perfect if you want to start, or if this is something that you just want to try out, and you can talk to the people, because everyone there is usually either a nomad for many, many years or just want to start. So it's the best way to make connections. So you also asked how I get into this, and how, because right now I'm organizing Nomad Cruise, which is a huge honor to do with to do the event that I basically started with, and this plays such a big role in my whole journey. So to answer the question of how I get into this is actually, I think, has to do a lot with just me being me, and you know the feeling when you finally do something for yourself, that okay, I don't care about what everyone else think. I just want to go. I want to travel. I want to enjoy my life. And then I just jumped into this whole experience. So I was really like free and careless, and I really just enjoy the whole trip. And I think when you are in this state, like, that's when the best things happen, and like new doors just open up So I was just enjoying myself, being very social. I also helped to organize a salsa workshop that I was super enthusiastic about. And being an extrovert definitely helps. So Johannes, who is the founder of Nomad Cruise, he also saw this, and he always looking for people who are, in the community and really sees that they're really excited about this whole event or cruise, whatever we call it, and the community, and you're part of it. So he actually contacted me after the first one if I want to go to the next one and just be a volunteer and just do again my salsa workshop and just help out with the little things. So that's, I think, how it all started. I first was a volunteer, and then I just became a team member, and now I'm organizing it.
Wow. So yeah, you must have been so surprised when you got that email.
Well, to be honest, yes. At the same time, I was, but it also, by that time, we had so many interactions, and it was not like out of the blue, like, oh my God, the founder just contacted me. Like, we hang out a lot after the cruise ended. We ended in Panama, and then a lot of us went to Bocas del Toro, which is like one of the small islands very close to Costa Rica. And we have been hanging out there. We had our own Nomad Cruise house there. It was really one of the best times. And then Johannes was also there. So I had a lot of interactions with him. And also, I think it helped that at that time, I was just so amazed by this whole lifestyle and this whole journey that I wrote 2 articles in Hungarian about this. And then both of them get featured in one of the Hungarian online newspapers. And then obviously, like, a lot of people like heard about it. It went up to like a lot of views. So Johannes also knew about that. So I think he was also happy to, in a way, like, give back. I think this is the best publicity when, you made an event that people really enjoy, and then they write about it. That's the best, because it was so authentic. I loved it so much.
Yeah, the cruise is, as I haven't said this yet, but I actually met you, Dori, on Nomad Cruise 10. It's the only Nomad cruise I've been able to go on so far, but it was a life-changing experience. Like you said, there's just so much connection going on the boat, and so many different events. And also, I can say for myself, but also many other people, they find romantic connections that can last years and years later after they meet on the cruise.
Yeah, there's a lot of things definitely happening on the cruise, and happened engagements, Nomad Cruise babies, all of that. And yes, we also met there, and a lot of connections. I think right now most of my friends, my Nomad friends, are from this community.
Yes, and the other important thing you mentioned is the fact that after the cruise ends, I made the mistake of not planning for this when I went on the cruise. There's often houses, like you said, people rent together. People stay in a location on land for even a month or more after wherever they land. So that forms even deeper connections. And I think it's a unique thing that the Nomad Cruise can also provide, because you've spent all these days together on the ship with very little Wi-Fi. So you're focused on each other. Then you continue the relationships.
Exactly. That's, I think, the key. The no internet, no connection. So you actually have to talk to people around you, which can be very intimidating, I have to say, for an introvert. But I just heard, I'm an extrovert, so I cannot relate personally to that. But I talked to a lot of introverts, and some of them were really like, just be brave. Like, I'm just gonna do this. This scares me, but I'm just gonna go. And I would say like 99% of them just left the ship like, okay, this was really cool. I never expected it to be this good. So yeah, it's great. And you said, like, I think it can be a life-changing experience for a lot of people. It was definitely for me, because this is where I found myself and find the goal that I want to become a nomad. And then it also helped me to become the event organizer and make it happen for me, that, okay, this is something that I can do as a nomad as well. Because sometimes I think there are jobs careers where you think like, oh yeah, okay, if I want to be a nomad, I need to be a software developer, I need to work in IT, I need to do this and this. And event organization, I think it's also one of these that you think that, okay, you have to have a base and just do it there. So it really opened up my eyes, like, okay, there's so much more opportunity to do this. And that's why I also became an independent event organizer, host, and all of this. And this definitely played a huge role in my journey.
Oh, okay, so now I'm so excited to talk about behind the scenes of event organizing. I have never organized an event, like a big one, beyond a one night thing. So where do you even start if somebody like Johannes says, okay, you've got the job, I'd like you to organize the Nomad cruise? How do you even begin? What are the tips for success here?
Well, it's very different. Like if we're talking about like how you start organizing this specific or like this event, which is for nomads and on the ship, or if we're talking about like how you start as an event organizer, because if we're talking just in general, how you start to become, let's say, an event organizer, and in this, then I would say that definitely want to go and be a volunteer first, or like, or a participant even. Just check it out if this is something that you would like to do. Being a volunteer is I think it's great because you see behind the curtains what's going on and how is it, because as a participant you might think that, oh, it's just an event, it's so easy. Like even sometimes like putting together a one-day event it's a lot of work, a lot. So I think you truly appreciate the work when you see behind the curtains, like what's going on. And sometimes a very easy thing for you, like, okay, yeah, for example, just that the conference is running on time, or like there's a little delay, only just a few minutes, that's a huge thing, and that requires a lot of work behind and before the whole event. So being volunteer and just see if this is something that you would like to do, that's I would start there. Also, I think you need to be a good organizer. And I truly believe that everything that is a skill, like good in the organization, this is something that you can pick up. Every skill is able to, everyone can just learn it. Of course, some people have, let's say, a tendency of being a little bit good at something, but everything I see is as a way of like, it's practicing doing it and then failing and learning from your mistakes. So being a good organizer helps, but you can pick it up for sure. And also, I think with events, it's like no matter how much you plan it and no matter how much you work on it, there's always going to be something that is not going to go as planned. So you need to be prepared for that, and you need to find solutions right away. So it's not for the faint-hearted who will just take their time to like, okay, there's a problem, let me go back to my room, I don't know, and try to figure out how to solve it, analyze every aspect, and then come out with the perfect solution. It's really about, okay, there's a problem, I need to solve it right away, and then we will talk about it, how to avoid it for the future. But right now, this is running, everyone is waiting, so creative solutions are very welcome, and you need to do that and then analyze, like, okay, that's why that happened, how can I avoid it. And yeah, just attention to detail is something tricky, I think, but I would still put it there that it's important. I'm not saying that I'm the best in this, because I really need to concentrate to be good at paying attention to all of the details. But if you have someone in your team who is good at it, and I'm lucky enough to have someone in my team, my colleague who is really good at it, then I think this compensates if you're not the best. So these are some of the things that I would just highlight with event organization. Yeah, it's just a trial and error, and then you just go ahead, evaluate, and will learn from your mistakes and improve constantly.
Yes, I think what you said about expect the unexpected is really key with event organization. When you plan, do you like kind of have a side column when you're organizing for like plan B, or is plan B more like, okay, this happened, now let's try to figure out what we're going to do?
I usually don't really have a plan B, or at least written down. For example, during COVID or right after, when we were organizing an event in Nomad base, then I had, let's say, backup speakers for the conference itself. So in case someone calls me that, okay, I'm not allowed to take my flight and I won't be there, that I already can, just go to my list and, okay, I have another speaker who can easily jump in, because obviously, like if you do events where, for example, you need speakers and this is a conference, then of course you need to be prepared that someone cannot show up, and this is a possibility. So you need to be ready to get someone on stage. And this is not something that a lot of people can do. Like 1 or 2 days before, you just tell them like, okay, tomorrow, please just do a 20-25 minutes speech on your topic, your expertise. Yeah, it needs preparation usually, unless you have done that talk multiple times and then you're just like a true expert in public speaking as well, and like, okay, let me take the stage. So I had plans for that for sure. And of course, like the more events you organize, the more of the activities that sometimes you plan, let's say a speed networking for the event, for the night, and then something can come up, and then you just go back to your toolbox, let's say, and then just quickly improvise another activity that you can do. So I think this comes from practice. But if you're starting out, maybe just have a few, these that, okay, if something goes wrong, then, okay, let me just check my list and try to find something else and fill up that time that now I have there because of the error or the failure.
Yeah. Let's talk now about the team aspect, because you mentioned my team and you have a team, you have someone helping you with attention to detail, for example. How do you build a great team? Is it like mostly, I know you mentioned volunteer first, maybe you're working with a lot of volunteers. What are some tips to put on a good event with the team and not have too many issues going on, let's say?
So the team, our team, let's say with specifically with Nomad Cruise, is literally just the 3 of us. It's Johannes, Rennie, and me. We have other people who are helping with different, let's say, smaller tasks when we need a special, I don't know, thing with the website, and then we have someone there for automation. We have something, but like in general, when we are putting together an event, like actively, it's literally just the 3 of us working. And Rennie is the one who's really amazing with details. And I think, we are just like, it's a really good team. It's a really good dynamic, how we can work together. And then during the event, that's when, let's say, the team gets bigger, because we have a lot of volunteers. Some of them are obviously kind of like in between team and volunteer, because they have been helping us with so many times and they know what to do, and they are taking a more leadership role in the whole volunteer team. So we have that, and this is something that I think it's really important, that in events, like the more someone is willing to help you is because they love the event itself and they just want to be there and just make it happen, because maybe they have already been a participant and they just your fans. I think that's the key. That's what I also see it, and that's, I think, from in my case as well. I was such a big fan of this event that I just just wanted to help, either as a volunteer and then as a team member. And I think this is what is key with team building. So it's not necessarily always the skills that you need to go after, but find your true fans.
Yeah, I think that's a great tip. And as we see, it worked with you. So I'm wondering, do you have any secrets to planning a good event? You've mentioned a lot already, but are there some like things you might not feel are so obvious that, really help make a good event rather than a okay event?
I think personally, in my opinion, if you want to do a really, really good event, is with everything you focus on your participants, you focus on your audience. It's the same with right now I'm learning to even become a better public speaker, and that's the main message there. Like, if you want to do a great speech, you need to focus on your audience. And it's the same with events. If you want to do really, really amazing events, then you focus on the participants, what is that the participants want, and how you want to make them feel, what are you going to make them do, inspire them. And basically, for if you have them, and always have your avatar, like, okay, this is just create an avatar, this is the target audience, let's say, and just pick one person and like try to focus, like give it even a name, and like, okay, how is Jenny's gonna feel if we do this? Is she gonna have enough time to rest, and is it feasible? Can she do everything? Because obviously with these events, and especially with this one as well, like, you cannot do everything. So you really need to direct them. Okay, don't try to do everything. Focus on your goals. Give them an intention from the beginning, that they should come up with, okay, why am I here? And try to focus on that. And I think connection is always one of the biggest things, but why people want to come in an event. So if you want to pull, like, let's do like a secret, whatever thing, try to connect your participants as much as possible. So basically do any kind of activities, even if it's not really related maybe to your topic, but connect the audience, because that's going to help them to really just enjoy it more, and make, either professional or just personal connections there. And then they have this effect of like, yeah, they can talk about it together. Like, oh, remember when we were there? It was so great. We did this together. Give them experiences and connection. I think these are, if you focus on this is already good.
I think that's great. I think connection is the key. I recall when I went on Nomad Cruise 10, it was the first time I'd ever been to any kind of conference where I was asked and given permission to plan any topic, any event within the event that I wanted, write it on a Post-it note and put it up on a board and say, okay, I want to teach you about improv at 5 p.m. in the library of the ship. Anyone who's interested, meet there. And it just felt like such an easy way to connect better with people, and it would be random. So you didn't know who you would meet, but you could really make better memories with these people instead of just sitting passively listening to speakers and never having a choice about it.
Yeah, that's one really great way is to make them also kind of like take an ownership of the whole experience. And in that sense, a lot of people love that even if they're not a speaker, they want to be, just facilitate the workshop or anything that they love. Like, it can be like some people just facilitate board game nights, and then the way, like, they just attract everyone who is interested in that, so then they can make the connection. So make it clear to that people can do this, and give them the time. Like, sometimes it's very tricky, I have to say, in our cases as well. Like, we want to do the conference, we want to deliver, and also give them exercises and activities that I know that will help them make the connection. So sometimes working especially with the ship schedule and our schedule, and there's excursions and a lot of things going on, it can be very tricky to give them this time. But if you can, like, give them free time to also just relax and connect and do their other either activities, workshops, whatever it is that they want to do on their own.
Yeah, that's so great. I was going to ask you about the next Nomad cruise. Are you still planning to work on the next cruise, and when is it going to be?
We are launching it very soon, but I can share that this is going to be a very, let's say, late November. So plan from, Johannes mentioned that like from mid-November until mid-December, just block your calendars because of course there's a lot of things going on before, after. So if you can block your calendar around that time, that's amazing. And it's going to be a transatlantic.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Was that going from Europe to
Europe
South America
to
or
South
Central America? Okay, Europe to South America. Great. You mentioned the connection, and I think having those days at sea are the best opportunities for the connection.
Yes. Yeah, those are the best. You don't have internet, no distraction. So that's the best. And I love the sea days. So those are my favorites.
Me too, I have to say. Now, Dori, you mentioned that you're an independent event organizer. We've talked a lot about Nomad Cruise. What are your plans for the future going forward? Do you have any other events or things that you're working on? What are your plans?
So my plans are like obviously I'm involved with the Nomad Cruise, and I love this. This is also one of my passion projects in that sense. Personally, I also want to test, let's say, like new fields for myself, and I've been postponing for a long time to organize my own retreats. So that's something that is coming up probably early next year or maybe even this year at the end. So yeah, retreats, workations, I'm still putting together the exact concept, but I love my own events in the terms of like being more intimate maybe. I'm also pursuing now more and more the public speaking career. I really enjoy it, and sometimes you just don't even realize because you're so in it that you've been doing it for such a long time. Because I'm not only organizing the event, but I'm the main host usually. Now I did also keynotes. I'm doing the keynote now in Gran Canaria, and I'm looking for also new opportunities. Where can I speak? So these are definitely two of my new goals, and for the future that is coming up: retreats, workation, public speaking, all of this in between, and yeah, female entrepreneurship is something that is really really interesting me for a long time. So something in these lines together, I know that I will create something really interesting, I think, for others who are either just starting their journey or already in it and just want to connect with other people.
That's so exciting. I'm going to look out for all of these updates, and we're going to also put the links in the description for everyone. So I have to ask you, you just made me think of something. Where do you think is the best place to host an event, whether it would be for your retreat? I know it could change depending on the number of people, but you've worked on ships, you've worked in hotels, I know, with Nomad Base. Where do you think is the best? Where's your favorite place to have an event?
I don't think that there is a good answer for that because it really depends on the whole concept of your event, your target audience. What is that you would like to achieve? Of course, you can pick a unique location like a ship, or you can just go for the hotel, which will take a lot of your headache off as well sometimes. Maybe it gives you new headaches, but it's really hard to answer this without knowing the concept and knowing more.
I have to say, for me, it's still the ship, because Nomad Cruise was such a unique experience, and the lack of Wi-Fi, just forcing people to connect with each other, was so special.
I think it's definitely something where special about the ship, because of course even if you try, you just give up after like 5-10 minutes in the middle of the Atlantic, for example. But for I participated in retreats, and literally I just left my phone in the room. So I knew that, okay, if I have to, I can connect and I can be on my phone. But why would I if all of these people are here around me, super interesting things are going on, activities. So after like the second day, I just left my phone in the room, and I only took it out when I needed to take a video or I wanted to take a picture or something. But usually most of the time I just left it there. So it's not necessarily just about that. I think it's also like creating this whole environment where people just don't want to connect to their phones.
That's so true. Where do you see the future of event organization? Do you think it's going to become like more important for people to connect and want to attend events, or especially given that we couldn't go to events for a couple of years? Or do you think things are going to kind of move more online?
I think especially now, after all of this that we've been through in the last couple of years, and everything went online, and a lot of people started to work online and just now enjoy, even if it's a remote job or even if it's like being their own business and freelancing. The reason I think, because technology now gives us this flexibility that we can work online, and we have so much screen time, that I think more and more people will crave the face-to-face interactions. So in my opinion, and this is what I heard from others, either community leaders as well and digital nomads, that they just want to be around people. So I think there is a huge future in events and physical events, not hybrid events or not virtual events. Physical events, retreats, co-livings, all of this, I think is just the start, and they are just going to become more and more popular. Like, that's why I love organizing them, and that's why I'm also planning on mine, because it's just bringing people together and finally, again, be in the same room. And there's nothing like that. You cannot create it as much as you can create a really amazing virtual event. It will never be the same as a physical one, where you can touch people, where you can feel the energy in the room. So that's why I love bringing people together to the same place. There's something really, really magical in that, to have them in the same room.
I can really feel your passion for it. Thank you for sharing more about how to do this today. As you said, and I agree with you, I think it's going to become even more vital to connect and more popular in the future. Dori, is there anything else you'd like to share with us today?
No, I think we said it. We talked a lot. I would just recommend to everyone, like, go and find your own events, find the ones that you're interested in, either as a participant. If you want to pursue this as a career, go for it. I hopefully see many of them somewhere, or we might meet in person in one of them.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see what's coming in the future with these events. If people want to follow you, where can they go?
They can follow me on my website, which is, my name is Dori Juhasz, which is DoriJuhaszASZ.com. They can follow me on LinkedIn. I guess we will put the links there. You can follow me on Instagram. So all of these links will be, I guess, somewhere they can find it. So these are the best ways to connect with me or find me.
Thank you so much, Dori. It has been such a pleasure to learn about what you do and hear about your journey. And I hope you have a great day.
Thank you so much, Becky, for having me. It was a really interesting and nice to talk to you about this.
Thank you.